Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the next instalment of 31 tags in 31 days. I hope you are all well. I hope that you're joining in and enjoying the journey. I'm having an awful lot of fun with this. Yeah, and I really hope you guys are too. So today's tag, I've got a couple of ideas. I want to do a kind of a bit of a window tag, but I want to try and do something a little bit, well, I've got an idea in my head, so we're going to go with that. I have a sheet of this left over from one of the earlier projects, and I'm just going to check and see if it's going to be big enough. It is 6 inches, which is what I wanted. We've got this problem piece here where it came off the pad, but that can be covered up quite easily. So what I need is 3 inches, 6 inches. So I need 6.5 inches in width. It's 6 inches long. I need 6.5 inches in width, which will take it to here. Like that. And we're going to start off the same process as we did with the tag that we made following Cara Renee's tag. And that is, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Doesn't matter whether you do it from the left or the right. And then we're going to score at 3.5 inches. So we've got 2 score lines in here, one at 3.5 inches, and 1/2 inch first and then 3.5 inches. That'll give us a nice size tag to work with. So that's our first part of what we're going to do today. I think that actually might come off and the pattern might still be intact underneath. That's odd, isn't it? It must be such sticky stuff they use. But hey ho. Yeah, it does come off. So there we go. We'll spend a little bit of time on that later. So that's the first part. So we've got a piece of card which is 6.5 inches. We've scored it at 6.5 inches by 6 inches. We've scored it at 1/2 inch, and then we've scored it at 3.5 inches. And that will give us, as I said, our basis for our tag. So that's the first piece of card. Now I've also got this left over. We know it's 6 inches tall, which I think is going to be, okay. It should be okay. And I want it to be 3, just trying to work out the measurements now. I want it to be 3.25 inches wide. So 3.25 inches wide by 6 inches tall, like that. And still with my score board, I am going to score. I'm going to score 1/2 inch on the one side. I'm going to turn it round 90 degrees and do 1/2 inch on the other side. And then I'm going to do the other short end 1/2 inch score line. So we end up with a score line across this top section 1/2 inch, a score line down here 1/2 inch, and a score line across there 1/2 inch. What I'm going to do with this is I am going to cut off these corner pieces like that, which will allow me to fold these areas a little bit neater. Okay, so we're going to end up with this. Now that doesn't look like it's scored particularly straight. That looks like there's a bit of an angle to that, so I'm just going to straighten that up manually, and we'll put a new score line there. I don't know where my bone folder is, so we'll improvise. That looks better. Yeah. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I want to put a hole in here. So I'm going to get, this is a 2-inch punch, and I'm going to see how far down this will go first of all. It should go a lot further than that. It's just catching on those bits there. So, gosh, it does not want to right, there we go. Okay. Now I'm going to try and get it as centre as I can, which is a little bit tricky, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So I have now got this. Oh, that's going to be a bit of a pain, isn't it? Because I didn't want that there to show. All that there, really. Now that's a quick fix because I can cut half of this off. But I don't think I'm going to be able to save that top piece from showing. Oh, that'll teach me, won't it? The only thing I could possibly do there, that's an idea actually, where there's a will there's a way. I am just going to draw a pencil mark around here, like that, and I am going to try and just cut that piece off. Which means when that folds down, we're pretty much, it'll show a tiny bit, but a lot less than it did. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay, so we now have two pieces. The idea is, let me just see how big this is going to be here. That's okay. So the idea is we're going to follow what we did with the tag we did with Cara and Renee, and that is to put another pocket on the top. So to do that, I'm just going to put a divot in this piece that is going to form the front of our tag, like that. Okay, so we've got a pocket there. We've got a gusset here, which means that it won't affect the width of our pocket. We'll give full access to that. And we're going to glue down this section here slightly differently because we don't need the pocket to be quite as deep. So we'll end up with a tag, journal card, whatever you want to call it, like that. And this will be on top like this. But we will use this as a pocket here, side pocket, because we're only going to attach it on the top, down the left and across the bottom. So we'll have a top pocket, a side pocket, but this piece here, I want it to be visual before we do anything else. So I'm just making a little note as to where the centre is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop one of our daisies in there, like that. I can cut this bottom section off because we're just not going to need that. So that'll be going in there like that, so we still keep the daisy. That'll go on top like that. So we'll still see the daisy through it. which should work. So let's start by popping our daisy on first, because that is going to be the focal point we don't want to get wrong. So that's going to go on there like that. Okay. And then we are going to, I'm just going to tear some of this off now that I can, because it's just the stickiness, the sticky stuff that holds the pad together. There we go. And same on this side, although that will probably be covered up, so I'm not going to worry too much about this side. It's just while I've started, I may as well get that bit off. Okay, so before we go any further, I'm going to ink, because I don't know what it's going to end up like. So if I get the inking done now, then we are good to go. Okay, and I'm just going to quickly ink this as well. And then I am going to get a sheet of acetate here, and I am going to glue that to the inside of my window. I don't need a huge amount of it, so that piece there would be okay. And I only want it to go in to here, so I can cut that piece there. I may need to take a tiny bit more, may need to take a tiny bit more off that. So I'll do that now quickly. Okay, so I'm going to pop a little bead of glue on here. I'm not going to put it too close to the window because I don't want it to seep into the plastic area. I'm just going to pop that on there like that, and that should then stick. Okay. And then I am going to pop a little bit of glue on that, just to hold that down a second, and the same there. And then I'm going to glue this onto the front of my card. It's a lot fiddlier because of that top section, so lesson learned, I would definitely have to measure my window a little bit more carefully. Okay, so I want this so that it shows the daisy off, and I want it to be as straight as I can get it. Okay. And then I am going to glue across the bottom of this piece here and down this gusset area. And I'm gonna pop that over there and seal that down. So what we end up with is a tag here, or pocket here rather, and a pocket here. And just for the sake of keeping it all multifunctional, I am also going to create a pocket across the back section. So again, I'm going to take a little bit of a divot out. Just give it a quick ink, just to get those white areas gone. And then I'm going to glue this down. Now I'm not doing a gusset on this pocket because we just want a little small pocket here. And that pocket is going to pop on there like that. And then what I'm going to do is, we're not going to cut the corner pieces here that make the tag shape, but I am going to it's probably actually, if I put a eyelet in there, no, it should be okay. It should be okay. So I'm going to pop an eyelet in here. And we've got a nice flower eyelet. Can't find those when I search for them for love nor money, but when you're not looking, there they are. So I'll pop that in there. Like that. Excuse me, and with this one we're going to come away from the normal green, and I'm going to put a piece of this on there, slightly thicker. And we'll give a nice chunky knot look to that one. Just cut these extra bits off. Okay, so that's probably a bit chunky, but you can always change that up. So we've got a pocket here, we've got a side pocket here, we've got a back pocket here, and a pretty cool funky window in the front there. I'm gonna just look at putting a few bits of embellishment on the front there just to break it up a little bit. Stick with colour scheme, but just break that up a tad. Oh, see, weird. That's too much. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this on here like that, and then put that on there like that. And then let's see if this, with a little bit of ink, will kind of blend in a little bit more because it's quite stark. Not overly fussed. We could put a bit of pink in there. Why not, eh? Jazz it up a bit. I did have green ones, but I think I've used them all. But I do quite like the pink on that, yeah. So we're going to add that. And there we have it. Our window pocket tag. Again, another really easy one to kind of do, and another one that's great for mass making. But yeah, really, again, quite pleased with that. So a double pocket window tag. I will put all the details in the description box below. We are coming to the end of the project now, which is coming out really, really well. So I hope you've enjoyed. Be great to get your take. So put me a comment in the comment section below. That would be fabulous. Other than that, I will catch you in the next video. And so until then, as always, stay safe, be well, and we'll speak soon. Bye for now.